I'm starting this video in the car while I'm waiting for my parents to get a massage. I'm going to be reading for a little bit. I'm currently reading Old Enough by Haley Jacobson, actually. I bought this book a while ago and I read I think 15 or 10 pages and I didn't really like it, so I DNF'd it. And then I think a year or two later I picked it up and I'm eating it up. I'm on page 94. And I thought it'd be really fun to read 100 pages every single day. Obviously, if I read more, amazing, fantastic. But for a complete week, I want to read 100 pages, meaning that I have to read to a page 194 within the day. Not within right now, because I only have an hour, and honestly, it's really hot in here, and I might get out of the car to just walk around. Or I might turn on the car for a little bit. So far, we're following Savannah, who's this college student. She recently came out and she found a nice group of friends that are queer and she's just finding her community. But we also get past timelines of her and her best friend and previous relationships / situationships. And honestly, it's just been fun drama-ish. We get this past timeline of her when she's 16 and we're sort of figuring out her friendship with her childhood best friend. So that's what's happening. I am absolutely sweating. I don't know if you can tell. I'm gonna turn on the car to get some AC. I'm gonna read for a little bit and then we'll see how far I get into the book. Hello, I am currently outside and I already finished my 100 pages for the day. So I ended up finishing Old Enough by Haley Jacobson. This is my little baby, okay. Yep. Yesterday I left off on page 194, I think. I literally read exactly 100 pages. And then this morning I woke up and this book has exactly 320, so I was supposed to leave off on page 294, but obviously I read a little bit more just so I can finish the book, and I really enjoyed it. It really took me by surprise because, as I mentioned, I basically DNF'd this book for an entire year or so, and I literally finished it in a weekend, which is crazy because I don't typically do that anymore. I feel like I've done that before in the past, but not recently. And it was a really good book. I rated it 3 out of 5 stars. I feel like it was entertaining. It had a lot of character growth, and it has pretty heavy topics that I wasn't expecting. And I was well, this came a little bit out of nowhere, but it really didn't because it's in the back of the book. It's in the synopsis. So that's on me for not reading what this book was about. I thought it was going to be very lighthearted, just this college girl figuring out her sexuality, and it was way more than that. But I really enjoyed just the exploration of friendship in general, and I really liked that it wasn't more so just a romance book. I thought it was really nice, and there's other things that happen that are not really nice, but overall a good read, I'd say. And then I don't know if I'm gonna start this book today because, as I mentioned, I've already completed my 100 pages for the day. But I think I've decided on the next book that I'm going to read. I recently went to the library and I picked up The Homemade God by Rachel Joyce. Now, I've heard absolutely nothing about this book, but I picked it up, I saw the cover. I do judge a book by its cover. Don't say that you don't, because I'm sure you do. I think I read a little bit of the back. I read the first page and I was like, you know what? I'm feeling this. There is a heat wave across Europe and 4 siblings have gathered at their family's lake house to seek answers about their father, a famous artist who recently remarried a much younger woman and decamped to Italy to finish his long-awaited masterpiece. Now he is dead, and there is no sign of his final painting. As the siblings try to piece together what happened, they spend the summer in a state of lawlessness, living under the same roof for the first time in decades, forced to confront the buried wounds they incurred as his children and waiting for answers. Though they have always been close, the things they learned that summer about themselves and their father will drive them apart before they can truly understand his legacy. Meanwhile, their stepmother's enigmatic presence looms over the house. Is she the force that will finally destroy the family for good? Wonderfully atmospheric, at heart, this is a novel about the bonds of siblinghood, what happens when they splinter and what it may take to repair them. That sounds absolutely, I was gonna say wonderful, but not really, but like a masterpiece, honestly. I'm really excited. I have a couple of updates. I haven't read today, but yesterday I started reading The Homemade God, and it's been pretty interesting so far. So we've gotten to know the artist's children, who are in their 30s basically, and just that exploration of siblinghood, and we get to know more of their personalities, their personal lives, and it may be a predicted 5-star read. It may be too soon to call, but it's feeling that way. I left off on page 27 on chapter 3, so I didn't read the 100 pages on this book, but I did listen to an audiobook. I've been listening to Magic Lessons by Alice Hoffman. It's like this witchy series based on this bloodline curse, like witchy ancestry, basically. Our main character is Maria, and she's been like tortured emotionally and physically, and she's just exploring what she wants to protect her daughter from. I decided that 100 pages of reading equals to 20% of an audiobook. I don't know if that even matches up. I read 27 pages of this yesterday, and then I decided that maybe I should read about or listen to about 15-ish% of the audiobook, which I did. So I left off on 56%, literally halfway through, and it's very atmospheric in a way, and it focuses a lot of like making remedies and potions, and certain herbs are used for this and blah blah blah. So I feel like within those parts it's a bit slow for me, but within the actual plot of the story, like, I know what's happening. So I don't know about the rating for this one yet, but I am enjoying it. Like, it's fun to just listen to it and then just dive into a new world. So I do need to read today, and I want to make a dent in this book. So hopefully by the end of today, if I do read exactly 100 pages, I'll be in page 127, and that is, I guess it would be chapter 13, so I'd be reading 10 pages because, yeah, I don't really want to leave off in the middle of a chapter. I'm going to try not to. So hopefully I can read, my bookmark fell. Hopefully I can read this much today. So I have a couple of errands to run right now, but I'm gonna make time to read, and I want to just have a cozy time so we can read together. So maybe grab a drink, grab your book, and then cozy up and we can read for a little bit, because I have a lot that I need to read. So hopefully we're able to do that today. It's currently sprinkling, and it's such a cozy vibe to just stay in and read. I've been reading for a while now, and now I'm on chapter 5, page 47, so I've read like 20 pages basically. I still need 80 more, but so far I've been enjoying this book. I think I tried to listen to the audiobook for a little bit, and I do not like the audiobook so far, so I think I'm going to just be physically reading this book. I've been having a blast. I forgot to mention that this week also I was bedazzling a book. I've never bedazzled a book before, and this is my first time, but I decided to bedazzle, oh, I don't even know if you can tell, I decided to bedazzle The Conditions of Will. I remember this book, like snippets of it, like the main plot, and it wasn't my favorite. And like, I'm the type of person that I haven't read Magnolia Parks before, but I wanted to read Jessa Hastings' writings first, like other books, before getting into a series. And now I don't even know if I want to read Magnolia Parks, so that's still a little bit up in the air. But I do think that this book itself is one of the most like beautiful books I've ever seen. And then like the Sacred Heart in the back, all these colors, fantastic, very beautiful. So I don't regret necessarily buying this book, because again, it's just beautiful, but I didn't enjoy it that much. But I think sometimes when I'm reading books, I just don't have enough patience, and I don't give them what they deserve. But right now I'm in a really good mindset for reading, and I'm really excited. So I'm gonna continue to read,
fire burned out. The warmth has gone away. The fire burned out, darling. The warmth has gone away. You turned so cold on me, baby, and you'll miss my love someday.
This challenge is a bit harder than I thought. I've done this before, but I feel like now I'm an experienced reader. And I was like, you know what? I can read 100 pages every single day. And no, you can't. I'm kidding. I'm still trying though. Yeah, I'm just trying. And I figured out that I can download the book as an ebook from the library. So that's what I did. And you know what they say, you read faster on a Kindle. So I'm going to test that theory out. And I have it here. I decorated my Kindle if you saw my other video. Not my proudest work, but if you saw me decorate it, you know why it's not my proudest work. And you're real for that. You are. So I thought it'd be fun to make some guacamole and eat some guacamole and chips while I read. So let's go make some guacamole. This might be one of the smallest avocados I've ever seen, but it's ready, so I don't want that much. Let's see how much I actually have. This is actually the cutest thing. Oh, it's a baby. I actually despise taking out the seed because I always feel like I'm going to cut myself. I use these little strawberry bowls and I place my avocado in there. I add lemon juice, crushed red pepper flakes, salt, and pepper, and I eat it up. I wasn't the biggest fan of avocados growing up. I actually hated them, truly hated them. And then at some point my cousins love avocado and they would just eat them like this. Like they would literally cut an avocado, put some salt and eat it. And now I feel like it's not that crazy, but for me as a person that hated avocado, I was like, that's disgusting. And then I tried it and I was like, oh my god, this is delicious. So then I think that same day I ate a whole avocado. Keep in mind, I've never eaten avocado before. And I think at some point it just grossed me out and I wanted to throw up. And I had a big fear of throwing up as a kid. Still do. And it was just horrible because it was literally one day that I liked avocado. I got a little cocky, ate an entire avocado by itself, and then was completely disgusted by it. But this year, I've been trying to be a little bit more open within my taste buds and expanding my palette. I don't know if exploring my taste buds is a good is a good way to frame it, but I've been introducing new foods, ingredients, and I've been really liking guacamole with chips. So I add all of my ingredients and then I just squish it together. I don't add any tomatoes or onions to my guacamole, okay? I haven't expanded my food palette that much. So we're going to be eating them with some tortilla chips. I honestly get whatever cheap tortilla chips I see. And then we're also going to be having a Poppy in the Alpine Blast flavor, which is like Mountain Dew, essentially. I'm going to be snacking and I'm going to be reading. This is honestly my dream. My dream. We went to a farmer's market and we got some pastries. Jessie already tried some of them, but we got a bear claw, which I didn't know was a donut. It looks huge.
Well, I think it's a donut. I don't know anymore.
Oh. Oh. It does taste like a donut.
Right?
That's really surprising.
Yeah.
Well, it just tastes dry. I think I'm gonna like the muffin more, actually.
You think so? I like the muffins too, though. Try that guy.
This is a pumpkin muffin. I like this way better.
Look, it has bread inside.
Mm.
I don't know what this is.
What's a bear claw? This is delicious, though. Reading update. So, I've been reading The Homemade God on my Kindle. Jesse's still a little upset that I'm not using the Kobo yet. And I still haven't even opened it, but I really want the case for it first. I've been really liking it, but honestly, it's been a little bit of like a mystery, which I wasn't expecting because the dad's new wife, she hasn't really appeared. So there's just a bunch of assumptions made on her, and we don't even know, like we haven't gotten to meet her yet, and I'm like way more than 0.5% done with this book. And then a little update on magic lessons. I'm actually almost completely done with that book. So I'll give a little bit more of an update when I'm done with that book so that I can give you a rating. But that's so far what I've been working on. I just haven't been having time to do more updates. This is the last day of my reading challenge, and I just finished listening to Magic Lessons by Alice Hoffman. Apparently it's a historical fiction with magical realism. I love historical fiction books, but I don't tend to listen or to read any kind of books that have magical realism in it, so it was quite interesting. I enjoyed the aspect of it because it follows along Maria, who is a witch, and she moves from England to Salem, Massachusetts, where the witch trials sort of occur, and we get a little bit of historical context within that, but then we also follow along her daughter, and we get to know Maria, we get to know her daughter Faith, and just how valuable magic is within their relationship and how they're connected. So that part is really interesting. I think I'm going to be rating this book a 2.5. I think the other aspects that I didn't really enjoy, I talked a little bit about it, but it was more so talking about certain remedies or potions or cures that Maria or Faith would even do, and they just talked a lot about certain plants and what they do, how they heal, which is like interesting in that sense. If you're really into plants, that's really cool, but for me it felt like a lot of gibberish. So I think those points lost me a little bit. And then I'm almost done with The Homemade God. I was reading this book, and I did listen to it a little bit, even though I mentioned I didn't like the audiobook. And I'm on page 305. I haven't finished it yet, but look, I don't have a lot of pages left, and I thought it'd be fun to read it together, and then I'll tell you my review. Finally done! Oh my god. So within these 7 days I completed 3 books. One of the books, well honestly 2 of those books, I was already reading before this challenge, so it's not like I completed 3 books within a week. So I was actually already listening to Magic Lessons for quite some time, but I thought, again, I can just listen to 20% of the book and equal it up to 100 pages. And then I finished Old Enough, which really took me by surprise because I had DNF'd it at first. Homemade God was a 5-star prediction, but I think I'm gonna give it a 3.5. It's a slower pace than I anticipated, or even in the beginning, I guess. It was just a slower pace, but I was still enjoying it. And I really got to know the characters. I got to care for the characters, which doesn't typically happen, but I'm happy that it did. And I don't think I got lost within the characters themselves, but there was little parts of it that took me by surprise. Like, it had like this mystery aspect, a little bit of it, but I liked it, and I enjoyed the whole wrap-up that this book did. It's a little sad, honestly, towards the end. Didn't make me cry or anything, but maybe it's a book that I continue to think about. I'm not quite sure, but I think for now, 3.5 stars. And with that, we are completely done with this challenge. So the next video of me that you see will not be a reading vlog, but I will be filming more reading content because I do enjoy that. Thank you so much for joining me within this challenge. Have you ever done a reading challenge like this? It's a little harder than I thought. Like at first, I'm like very confident that I'll be able to do it, and then towards the middle, I sort of lose it, and then at the end, I'm like, oh my god, we sort of did it. So I don't know if you feel that way too, but I'll see you next time.